Hey everybody, Derek here with Minute Maintenance. In this video we're doing something I'm really excited about. We're going to change the rear bumper on my Gen 1 Raptor to the SVC SVC Offroad Baja version 3 bumper. Pretty sure that's what it's called. This bumper is shorter and it tucks up really high to the body, so we're going to have to cut some mounts off. We're gonna dovetail the bed and it's gonna look like a whole new truck when we're done. This bumper does have a hitch built into it, which is one of the reasons why I got it. At some point, hopefully sooner than later, I plan on building an off-road camper trailer. So like a trailer with an rooftop tent on it and all my camping stuff already in it. But I wanted something with a hitch. In my opinion, this is the best looking bumper for this truck, other than another one that does not have a hitch built into it. So pretty easy choice for me to make. I don't think it's going to be too hard of a job. We're learning this together. I didn't see much information anywhere on how to do this, so I'm hoping that the mistakes I make today are going to help you guys. So let's get started. So obviously we're up underneath the back of the truck. I've had my spare tire out from under here for a couple of years now, if not longer. So if you still have that there, I would take it down. It's going to look a lot better without it, so just throw it in your bed. But take that down so it's easier to work on stuff. So to take our license plate lights off, it's the first thing we need to do. I'm going to push in on this tab and then push the light through the bumper. Okay, there's a good chance I broke the connector, but not a big deal because it's not getting reused. But push down in this middle part quite a bit, and then I took my screwdriver and I pried right there, and then it comes apart. But yeah, it's all covered in dirt, and so it's a little bit stuck on there. Next thing we need to do is get our trailer plug disconnected. Push in on the plug, push down on the tab, and then pull, and it should come off. And then these metal clips, if you pry those up, sure your guys will come out a lot easier once their brackets all beat up like mine was. Okay, that's out. We're going to keep that. There should be all of our wires free from our bumper. And since I'm doing this by myself, to make it a little bit easier, I'm going to take kind of this cover part off first. So there's 3 bolts. There's one here. Well, 3 on each side. There's one there, same on the other side, and then we've got one up here and one down here. Pretty sure if I take those 3 off, this part of the bumper will come off, and then we can do the hitch next. Okay, last one, and these are 10mm. There's a good chance that's going to fall. Get my important pieces out of the way. Stayed up. So that's essentially just a cover. I mean, it's real flimsy metal. Now our hitch comes off next, and it's not this. So this is the bolt plate. Most hitches use it because obviously they're difficult to get to, but 3 bolts on both sides. So we need to take these 3 nuts off on both sides of the truck. So this is that plate I was talking about. See if you can see, they're just kind of welded on there, but I have enough room in between my plate and the hitch to get a wrench in there. So we'll try this. Okay, so this nut already came off, so it's just this one nut holding it on. So I'm just going to take that off the rest of the way and pull it off. Our harness is still kind of clipped in over here. Make sure you pull that off first. Next thing I'm going to do is just set my new bumper up to see where I need to cut things. So the bumper obviously comes with hardware. So you've got 4 big bolts like this, 4 nuts like this, and then 4 washers. So obviously we're going to go bolt through the washer, through the bumper, through our frame, through a washer, through a nut. So as you can see, we'll have to cut this off, part of this, and then we'll have to cut part of our bedside. So you can see my line here. So we'll probably cut on the bottom side of that line on both sides, and then we'll just kind of go back with it towards the leaf spring mount. So I went ahead and got the first side cut. What I did was I just went a little bit below this hole and cut a straight line. And then there's actually a big curve, which I'll show you on the other side. And I just kind of followed that and then tapered it down underneath this hole. And we'll go back through and clean this all up with a grinding disc when I'm done. So same thing here, we're just going to cut a little bit below this hole straight, and then here's that hump. We're just going to kind of follow this and then taper back down like that. Yeah, the dust proved or showed my line. I washed it before I started, but obviously I didn't do a good job. So obviously before you start cutting, make sure all of your harnesses are out of the way. Nothing's going to get caught while you're cutting. I'm using a angle grinder with a cutoff wheel on it. If you've watched my shock videos, you'll see that that's my favorite tool to use to cut stuff off. You could use a Sawzall if you want. Cutoff wheel on an air compressor works. Anything you got laying around or your buddy's got that you can cut something with. It is thick steel, so it's going to take a little bit of time. But let's go ahead and get started. One other thing, always safety first. Wear gloves and a face shield. Probably should wear long sleeves, but that can be stubborn sometimes. But at the minimum, wear gloves and a face shield. And it was much easier to cut from the inside going out. I had started cutting on the outside going in, and there's just a bunch of stuff in the way. So this made it a lot easier as well. There we go. Big old chunk of metal. So there, they're both cut. Try to get them as close to the same as I could. They're a little different, but that's okay. Not going to see them. So I'm going to come back through here. I'm going to clean up all these edges with the flap disc on my angle grinder. I'm going to shoot it. I'm going to clean it up and then shoot it with some paint to prevent it from rusting. Clean this up too. And then we can mount the bumper and work on the bedsides. Okay guys, so I've cleaned up my cuts and I hit them with some of this Rust-Oleum Rust Performer Black, just to help prevent any rust from coming through. Now it's time to mount the bumper. The bolt and the nut are both 15/16. So just like before, I'm just going to use the top two, get it set up there, and my nut started, and I'll get my bottom one started. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to get everything snug, and then I'm going to drop the tailgate and make sure there's no contact anywhere, and adjust the bumper up or down and make sure it's level before I really tighten everything down. So I don't know if you could tell, but I actually used the bottom bolt on one side. It was a lot easier to keep my hand on that and lift this up at the same time. Get my other two bolts started. So like I said, now I'm just going to kind of snug stuff. You want to be able to push it up and have it stay in place. There. Pretty close to it anyways. I got everything snug, so now I'm going to lower the tailgate slowly. Make sure it's not making contact anywhere with my bumper. So I don't have to worry about hitting the tailgate, so that's good. Just gonna snug it down a little more. Now we're gonna try to get it level. That looks good. One more check with the tailgate. No issues there. Let's crank it down. Okay guys, so you can see I got my driver's side dovetail done. I wanted to do it just to get a feel for it before I showed you guys. So what I did was I covered this entire area with masking tape, and then I drew where I wanted to cut it, which it should start about here and end about here-ish, and then you'll cut along that edge underneath the bumper, trying to keep it as level as you can. Obviously you don't have to dovetail it if you don't want to. I kind of feel like the bumper is a waste if you don't, and it looks a little bit funny, but obviously it's your truck, you do what you want. So just an easy way to, well, an easier way, I guess, to make sure that our cuts are going to be even is this is the tape that's left over from my last cut. So what I did was, obviously I put all my tape on there and I drew a line along my fender flare here and then along this part here, which this is an add-on thing. Not everybody's gonna have this. So you could use this body line, but now that way I can take this and you flip it over, and I'm going to be able to tape it right here so that it'll be the same as the other side. Obviously underneath the bumper I'm not too worried about this section here, because I'm just going to cut straight underneath that. Before you start cutting, you need to take this piece off. There's 3 little clips that you pop out, and then there's little clips on the top that you kind of squeeze and then push down, and that'll pull that off. So I'm gonna cut this side off video, but I wanted to show you guys kind of how I'm doing it before I do it, so that you guys have an idea. Okay guys, got this side cut too. I'm gonna clean it up a little bit and then I paid a little bit extra and got the edge protector. I'm just gonna cut it in half and then stick it on there. It just pushes up. Really nothing to it. When you mount your license plate, SVC includes hardware, so it'll be this, two of them, to mount your license plate, and then the light. So you'll just put your light on your plate like that, and then just like always, bolt and then washer through your light, through your plate, washer, and then your nut. And they get mounted up right here in those holes there. And then you'll take the old license plate lights, and one of them, and the kit also came with, sorry guys, I'm all over the place. Like I said, it was a long day. You got these things, Scotch locks. So basically you just put the wire from your new license plate light and the old light into those 2 holes there, and then you push down on this silver thing. If you can't do it by hand, just use a pliers, and then this part gets folded over top, and that's how you hook up your lights. Don't forget to hook up your trailer plug that gets mounted up. Well, let me move the light there. Right here. So just mount your plug and then grab your plug here and plug it in. Make sure you tie up your wires so they're not just dangling loose. Other than that, pretty much done. I do have to trim my exhaust because it looks funny now with the dovetail, which I knew I was going to. I'm just going to cut the end off of it. And there you go, guys. Not a difficult job, just kind of another big job. Time consuming. I think I'm about, I don't have a clock in here. I'm like 4 hours in at this point, I think. 3 or 4. Not hard by any means. Just take your time with your cuts, obviously. The dovetail part was nerve-wracking for me. I'm still not like super happy with it, but because I'm a bit of a perfectionist, I'm gonna leave it for now. I'm leaving for a big trip tomorrow, so I gotta get to bed. But yeah, take your time with, especially with the dovetail. You know, if your line is here, like here's your truck and here's the ground, and your line is here, don't be scared to make your cut here. Take a step back, look at it, and cut some more. I did use a Dremel to begin with, and I chewed through all my blades really fast. I thought it'd be way more fiberglass than there was. It was quite a bit of metal. So I ended up using the same angle grinder with cutoff discs that I had used to cut the frame horns off the back. It worked really good. On it, it might have worked a little bit better because the bigger surface was able to make a little bit of a straighter line. You can make fine movements with the angle grinder and the cutoff wheel. You just get the tip of the disc into what you're cutting instead of, you know, diving all the way in with it. I'll put a link for the bumper below. It's SVC Offroad. If you're this far into the video, you already know about them, about the company, about the bumpers. But I'll put a link just in case. Yeah, but like I said, guys, not super hard, just time consuming. And making sure you do it right takes time, obviously. So I'm super happy though. It looks so much better than the stock bumper. It completely changes the look of the truck. So there will be more videos coming up soon with a front bumper and then leaf springs and a bump stop kit. I'm just waiting for parts to come in. It's been 2 months. Seems crazy to me that it's taken this long, but it is what it is. Yeah, I guess questions or comments, always leave them down below. Give the video a like if this helped you out at all. Subscribe if you haven't already. Share it with your friends. Have a great day, guys. Thanks for watching.